if it's an inconvenience to you to have this, every day there's a death in Harris County because of alcohol-related collisions. Good morning, Mr. Grocholski.
Oh, sir.
Sir, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
On October 23rd, 2024, the officer made contact with the complainant who stated he had a package delivered through FedEx at the residence at that time and had received an email confirmation with a timestamp and a picture of the package. The complainant stated he observed the defendant via camera footage at the front of the residence pick up the package the same day. The complainant observed the defendant observed the package and then take it inside the residence where both resided. The complainant observed the defendant place the package on the stairwell, pick the package back up, and then go inside the defendant's room. The officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he did not take anything that wasn't his. The defendant stated the package was his toothpaste that he ordered and that he threw the packaging in the trash bin when asked for proof of it was his package. The defendant stated he deletes all his order receipts when he receives them. The total was $189.05.
Okay. They live together.
They lived together, Your Honor, and the complainant had ordered a package and the package was sitting outside of the front door and of the residence that they shared.
Okay.
And the defendant grabbed the package that was the complainant and went into his room. That's what's alleged. And then officers asked him if it was proof.
Well, a lot of people, if my wife gets a package, I get it and I bring it inside and I put it in my, in the room. Did he open the package? Do we know that he misappropriate conversion?
Last night, so he was able to view the surveillance of the defendant taking the package, and he told me that he asked the defendant twice if he had the package and if he did to return it, and the defendant said he did not have the package.
Okay, that's a different story. I mean, if you take it and you say, hey, I'm not going to give it back, then that's one thing. But I grab packages for people all the time and I'll hold it and give it to my next door neighbor. Okay, Mr. Grocholski, now's not the time. I've got a bunch of DAs here. Anything you say, they're going to use it against you to prove guilt. It's not the time. We'll have you speak to a lawyer. You can explain your side to the lawyer, and at that point, they can, speak to the DAs, and then, but that way, it's really to protect you. Tell me about yourself. Are you working? What do you?
I had a stroke.
Okay.
And
Who do
doesn't
you-
work. I go around to the doctors and Walmart and the
So you don't-
YMCA. That's about it.
You don't have any kind of employment, then I would presume.
Sir,
Okay.
I'm not allowed to.
Did you want to? I'm assuming you would like a court-appointed lawyer.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, Morgan, what's the status of the relationship? Are they still living together? Does the complainant want to have contact with him?
Yes, they're still living together. I don't think, just speaking with the complainant, I don't think there's an issue with contact. I don't think he doesn't want to not have contact with the defendant, and he just wants to.
Excuse me. It's a boarding house. There's 8 people living there.
Okay.
I'm just one of them.
Got it. My only concern is I don't want any more bad blood. If you talk to this person and they're angry with you, I don't want anything worse to happen. And so my concern is, what if they get angry? You guys get into a fight and it just erupts into something it shouldn't. So that's my concern, is whether you guys should have contact. So I am going to order you as a condition of your bond not to have any threatening or harassing contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. And as long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. I'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions, and I'll have you speak to an attorney here momentarily. All right?
Sure.
There to sign a receipt and then to the jury box. Can you file that, please, Alex? No contact or no threatening or harassing, no new cases, no weapons.
Judge, are you appointing or financial?
Yeah. Just go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead and sign for your receipt, please. The next judge is Hernandez on page 7 and 8.
Johnny Joe Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, you're charged with assault, 2 counts of assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. On each of those cases, we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Your Honor. The complainant and the defendant are dating. On October 20th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a family assault. The first complainant stated she had a verbal argument with the defendant, and the first complainant stated they had a tussle with shoe boxes and were throwing them at each other. The officer observed the first complainant to have a busted lip, bruising, red marks on her face, and scratches on her arms. The first complainant did not want to speak with the officers. The second complainant stated she heard the first complainant and the defendant arguing. The second complainant stated that when she came out of her room, she observed the defendant grab the first complainant from her hair and throw her around. The second complainant stated she approached the defendant and told him to leave. The second complainant stated the defendant used both of his hands and pushed the second complainant from her face. The second complainant stated she fell to the floor, causing pain.
All right. Mr. Hernandez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on both of your cases. Let's see, are there protective orders? One is a dating relationship. What is the relationship of the other complaining witness? Because I see there's a protective order on one, but there's not a protective order on the second one, yet it's still alleged as a family member.
It's the stepdaughter, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you guys want a protective order?
It's a DVD case, Your Honor, so we'd have to email Conrad.
Okay, I think that you should, if you don't mind, please file one. We'll put one on file just in case.
This is what defendant.
Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Yeah, Johnny Joe Hernandez.
Oh.
So, Mr. Hernandez, it looks like there's a protective order on the first case, which identifies as Abby Penablanca as a protected individual. I'm now issuing another protective order on AM. It's just initials because it appears it may be a juvenile.
Yes, Your Honor.
So as a result, this person is now a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is a stalking statute. You cannot stalk, threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where they live or where they work. Do you understand? If you violate this condition, the state can and will file additional cases against you, a violation of a protective order, and it's one of the worst misdemeanor cases you can pick up. Do you understand? No violence anymore. You got out of jail because we gave you a free bond. If you pick up a new case, you violate these conditions, I'm telling you now, I'll make your bond 5,000 to 10,000 on each of those cases. And if you don't have anyone to pony up that money, you'll be stuck like Chuck in custody until these cases are over with. Do you understand? What do you do for a living? We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm going to have you first. Well, I don't know. Do you have them up yet or no, Steph? I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset, and then I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get all your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it, and then you'll be free to go. Be careful while you're out there, because no more chances, please, on both.
Yes, Your Honor.
You said Treadwell, right?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. You are on bond for a DWI, and now you've picked up another DWI. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man.
On October 23rd, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a major one-car vehicle accident in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with a witness who observed the motor vehicle had left the scene, but was still blocking a moving lane of traffic and had struck a school zone signpost. The officer also observed the defendant's motor vehicle had crashed in the direction moving against the flow of traffic, and the witness identified the defendant as the driver. EMS saw the defendant in the driver's seat of the crashed vehicle with her feet sticking out and the engine still running. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and unsteady balance on the defendant's person, along with a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage, and general disorientation and slow responses. When asked about the accident, the defendant stated she may have fallen asleep, but did not remember the crash occurring. The defendant admitted to drinking and consuming Adderall, and she said that she was the sole occupant and operator of the motor vehicle. The officers recovered 2 open alcoholic beverage containers from the passenger side floorboard.
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Your Honor. And 4 unopened containers. Standard field sobriety tests were performed, HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 8 out of 8, and 1 leg stand 3 out of 4. A blood warrant was drafted and executed.
And Judge, on the first DWI, the lab results came back as 0.286.
0.026.
0.206, because there's a big difference. Is it 0.26?
Yes, 0.286. Yes, Judge. That's right. Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is a very high blood test. Can you run an NCIC? I'd like to know what other kind of criminal history she has, number one. Number two, did we have her sign a no driving affidavit on the first one? Because if she did, I'm going to have a contempt hearing.
I don't see a no driving affidavit on file, Your Honor.
Yeah, Well, her driver's license wasn't eligible though on the second DWI.
Probably because of the first and the ALR. Mr. Treadwell, I want you to be perfectly clear about something. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect the citizens of Harris County. Every single day, someone dies because of a DWI in Harris County. And I will do everything in my power to protect my city. And if that means putting you in custody because you repeatedly flaunt our bond conditions, so be it. Now, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm taking you in. And now, if you do get out, you will have a strict curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I'm forbidding you from going within a car at all. You will now be signing an affidavit. And if I find that you drive, and I don't care what your reason is, I don't care if Jesus comes down and tells you he needs to ride to church, you get into a car and drive, I will have a contempt hearing. Every time you get into a car, it's up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine. On one ankle, you will get a GPS monitor. On your other ankle, you're going to get a scram device. So I know that you're not consuming alcohol. As it stands now, I'm revoking your bonds and I'm putting them both at $25,000. Do you understand? She goes with you.
Yeah.
Do you have a lawyer today?
Quiet.
Take a seat near the jury box. Can you appoint Mr. Wakefield to someone, please? You take care of it today.
Next arraignment is White, page 20.
Good morning, Mr. White. Sir, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On December 30th, 2023, in Harris County, Texas, the officer was dispatched to an emergency room where the officer met with the complainant. The complainant and the defendant had got into a verbal altercation and the complainant said she was leaving. The defendant grabbed the complainant by her shoulders, shaking her. The defendant grabbed the complainant's head and hit it against the dresser while she was trying to get her clothes out. The complainant had a large cut on her forehead and needed approximately 10 stitches. The doctor at the emergency room said the complainant sustained a serious bodily injury.
So it's not a felony, serious bodily injury case? Whenever there's serious bodily injury, they can charge you with a felony. You could be looking at up to 2 to 20 into prison. Are you on probation or parole at this time? Mr. White, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. If I find that you're using any kind of dope, illegal dope, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. I'm also ordering you not to have any contact with this complaining witness. If I find that you do, likewise, I'm going to put you in jail. A protective order has been issued in this case. I would get to know it. If you violate the protective order, and it doesn't matter what your intent is, they will file additional charges against you, and you'll be looking at violation of protective order. If you violate those conditions, I can hold you at no bond. Zero bond until this case is over with, and I will do it in a heartbeat to protect every person. Do you understand? Oh, no contact and no weapons, please. Or you know what? Don't worry about it. I'm gonna have him monitored by pre-trial to make sure he's not using. What do you do for a living, Mr. White?
I work at Tesla in the furnace department. I burn the aluminum to make parts for the Cybertruck for the company.
I'm gonna reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'm gonna have you go to Victoria Center reset. After that, we're gonna have you take your seat in the jury box. You will meet with pre-trial for your bond conditions. They're going to randomly test you. If you fail to go take a test, when they call you to take a test, you're going to go to jail. Do you understand? Because I will revoke the bond, no more PR bonds. All right, Tim, you ready? Hey, good morning. How are you, man?
I'm good. Good to
It's
see
been a
you.
while.
I love the suit.
It's new. Well, we're trying to be festive.
I get it. I have a guy named Mr. Henderson who needs bond conditions.
Did he just get out of custody? Okay, do you mind bringing him up? Oh, it's still in the jail time?
They're still showing in jail.
Yep, I see. Okay. Good morning, Mr. Henderson. Sir, you're charged with terroristic threat. This is a Class B misdemeanor. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
On August 23rd, 2024, the witness, the defendant's girlfriend, began receiving multiple phone calls from the defendant, who is, I apologize, the witness's ex-husband. The witness stated that the calls came around 21:30 hours on August 23rd, 2024, and observed the phone calls to be coming from both the defendant's phone number and from a no caller ID number. The complainant answered the phone and advised the defendant to leave them alone. However, the defendant began to argue with the complainant. The witness then grabbed her phone and began recording the conversation as it had become more aggressive. The defendant then began to threaten the complainant by saying, "You don't want none, I'll kill you, your wife and all your kids and your stepkids. Play with me, I'll kill you and your stepkids. Play with me, bitch." Based on the previous incident between the witness and the defendant, the complainant feels these threats to be credible and fears for his life. The officer was able to speak with the defendant regarding the case, who declined to provide any comment.
So who is Simeon Sims? Who is that?
The new boyfriend of ex-wife.
Mr. Henderson, I don't want you to have any contact with this person. Do you understand?
Sure.
I'm ordering you not to have any contact and not to be in possession of weapons. As long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine. If I find that you become a danger to the community, I'm just gonna lock you up. You will not get any more car bonds.
Sure.
You understand? Okay, so you have a lawyer. Good job on having a lawyer. Because you have one, I will waive your appearance, but it's your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Adams. He will tell you when you have to go back to court.
Sure.
If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm not asking much here.
Yes, sir.
Just want to save community. That's all I want.
Sir.
All right. I'll have you sign a receipt with Victoria. After that, I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we get your bond conditions. We'll have you sign it and you'll be free to go. Okay?
Thank you, Your
Thank you,
Honor.
Mr. Adams. You too? No, because it's not a family. Come up, Mr. Newell.
There's another issue as well. He went to get the GPS and the scram and they said there was an issue and wouldn't put it on. I looked through his condition.
Oh, now we have a problem.
Yeah.
Now we have a problem because now it's very possible I'm putting you into custody for not getting your stuff within the time you're supposed to get it.
Still have one more day today, sir. But I did go and they emailed that I did show up. I did show up to get my scram yesterday and I was not in the system.
Order in the court,
They said that they
please.
emailed the court and said that I showed up to do it.
Hey, Felicia, can you check out Mr. Newell and see what the issue is, please? You're asking me to take stuff up. He don't even have anything on.
He was trying, Judge. He went there.
I got my
They
GPS on,
denied him.
That's the only thing they put on.
So he went there. I mean, he got the GPS. He's doing everything he's supposed to, Your Honor.
I don't own a vehicle.
My concern is public safety. You have a manslaughter from last year, a felony assault, and another assault. And now you have a DWI. You're crashing and burning before our eyes. And what I don't want you to do is leave a wake of destruction in your path. That's what's happening. And I'm going to do everything in my power to stop it. If it's an inconvenience to you to have this, every day there's a death in Harris County because of alcohol-related collisions. It's not going to happen on my watch. Do you understand, Mr. Newell? And if it's an inconvenience to you, the other thing is a lot of the other judges here would make you pay for it. And for this, you'd probably be in the hole around $1,200 a month. I'm paying for you so that there's no excuse. And you still have yet to have the device on.
As of now, he's currently in compliance. He does have one more day to obtain that device.
Why? He's saying they kicked him out.
Yes, I see the email right here. That's not stated on here. It was stated that.
So let-
But he has conditions of bond and told to apply with the IID condition. He stated to our officer that he lost his job, but we did not have a card to the DWI. Does not have money to hire an attorney. He got his GPS and said that he will pick up his scram device, or he said that yesterday. And then I don't have any reports following that.
So he's here now. Let's send him down to pretrial to get everything right now.
I'll send him a report.
Okay, we're sending you right now to get everything right now.
Yes, we just.
The only thing, Mr. Newell, the only thing I'm asking you to do is don't kill someone, man. That's all I'm asking you to do, you know? God forbid you dig yourself into a 50-year hole because of some catastrophic event. I'm trying everything in my power to prevent that from happening. Do you understand? That's all I want. In time, if you show me that we can trust you, and it's not just, okay, I'm all better. I'm going to be little bunnies jumping in the woods. No, I need proactivity to show me that you appreciate everything, then we can talk. But at this time, with the kind of criminal history you have and the fact that we have a death in 23, no, I don't think that this is unreasonable. You understand? All right, just go ahead, take a seat. We're going to send you down now to get your stuff. You got to have it on by at the latest tomorrow. If not, it's not going to go well. you understand?
And just to be clear, you're allowing the changing from the interlock to the portable since he doesn't have a vehicle?
No,
He
no.
doesn't have a vehicle to put it in, Your Honor.
So whose vehicle was this that he was driving?
That's.
Are you Dad? Come on up, Dad. Thank you so much for coming. We have quite a bit of issues with Mr. Newell. And it seems that most of them are related to drug and alcohol issues. And I want to prevent anything further from happening that endangers the public. And my fear is that, does he live with you now? If there's a car at the house, he has access to it. And the problem is that when the cat's away, the mice will play. So if he has access to it, I'm scared that he's going to use it in a way that, and so that's why I ordered him to put the interlock for any vehicle that's at the house that he's staying. I'm paying for it, so it's not going to be anything coming out of your pockets, but my fear is that he just takes the car and something happens that's catastrophic. And I'm trying to prevent that from happening. So that's why I've ordered it. Like I said, nothing's coming out of your pocket. You guys don't have to pay for anything. I just want to make sure that if he gets into a car, we know about it. And that's the only way that I know. Okay?
Interlocks.
And my concern, Your Honor, he doesn't have any bond conditions and the car won't start if it's not blown into. So you're saying he's going to have to start blowing into it as well and he's not allowed to, so he can't drink any alcohol as well, so the father has bond conditions? He's legally allowed to have a beer and go driving if he's under the limit. He has a normal use of the mental and physical faculties.
Get it?
But now he's going to have restrictions on him and he doesn't have.
I want to make sure that Mr. Newell's not driving, you know? I mean, have you seen the record? We have a death last year. Two assaults, and now we have a DWI second. I told him that if he's proactive with showing me that he's tackling everything in a mature and adult way, then we can talk about bond conditions in the future. But it seems that with the wake of destruction that he's left with the last 2 years, 2 to 3 years, it's really concerning, you know, and I feel that he's deteriorating before our eyes, and I don't want it to happen anymore. And you know, my fear is that something happens catastrophic. He gets into a car and just takes off and does something that's just, you can't dig yourself out of. That's all, that's my fear. And I don't want it to happen, you know?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but Mr. Gold, we'll talk in a couple months. If he's doing well, proactive, come back and we can talk.
So the conditions are staying.
I
mean, you see my concern that it's now impacting his father since it's not his cars. I understand your concern, obviously, Judge. I just have to advocate for my client, and his father doesn't even have conditions.
I'm not begrudging you for it, Mr. Gold. I never will.
Question, Your Honor, though, is does he need a second interlock now? Okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to pay for everything for you, okay? So that it's nothing out of your guys' pocket, okay? Just make sure he's not driving. He signed an affidavit not to drive. If he drives, I can have a contempt hearing and he's facing 6 months every time he drives. So please, okay?
Okay.
Good luck to you. If you ever need anything, come back to us, talk to us. We're happy to help you in any way and anything you need, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, happy Halloween.
Thank you. Are you excused?
Unfortunately, we're skipping you real quick. Go ahead. Come step all the way up. This is Mr. Goodman for a waiver, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Goodman.
If you could sign.
Okay.
Your arms this way.
All right, Mr. Goodman, it looks like you were wanted out of the state of North Carolina for a violation of probation. Are you waiving formal extradition, sir? Okay, unfortunately, it looks like you've not paid bond on the felony case, so it's kind of told until that case works out. At that point, that's when the clock starts ticking. And then North Carolina has 14 days to come get you.
That's when it starts.
You can't bond out. Okay. If you make bond on the felony case, then the 14 days starts running. Correct. Yes. Okay. All right. Good luck. Thanks.
Just now, approach again.
Yes, sir.
This is on call Bell, WI. Maybe I'm overdoing it, but the state has offered me time served or probation. I'm trying to get a PTI, and I need to get Nathan Beadle a package.
Yeah, but we've been working on it for quite a while. Is Mr. Bell here?
Yes, he's present.
Has he completed the package yet?
No.
Come up, Mr. Bell. I got to imagine that you've asked him several times to complete it.
Yeah, it's on me this week. He was waiting on my call, and I just got extremely busy. The state did offer me probation on time served.
Okay, we give you another 2 weeks, but at that point, if it's not done, I'm gonna hold him day for day until it gets done. Mr. Bell, good morning, sir.
Sir, good morning.
Shh. They have a program called pretrial intervention, where if you are granted entry into and you complete it successfully, the DWI gets dismissed.
Yes, sir.
However, one of the main factors is your prior criminal history. Your history is thick, it's significant. So I will tell you, it's never a no, but the more history you have, the harder it is. But like anything in life, if you put your heart and soul into it, you're gonna get the moon, sun, stars. So the better your packet, the more likelihood you have of getting into the program. If you bring stuff on a bar napkin with your criminal history, it's gonna be a no. So do a kick-ass package, and then you have a better chance of getting in.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Your case is old, so we will give you 2 weeks. If you have it done, if you have it turned in by the next 2 weeks, we'll set you for an evaluation. If you don't have it done, you're out of time.
Make it happen, Your Honor.
Okay? Okay, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Judge, I'm approaching on Tony Kelly, and the case is getting a little old. We're still waiting on a rip on this one.
Custody or bond?
Bond, Judge.
Okay. We have tried to rip this thing since July, and you still don't have it? You gotta give it up. You might as well wish for a unicorn. Alex?
That's correct, Your Honor. We still don't have the rip.
It's not gonna happen. They don't want to be found. So, I love it.
I should sit them in a jury box.
You might offend a couple here and there, but I don't think he really is concerned about that. Okay, Alex,
Yes, Judge. So
where are we at?
we can try to task the investigator again to get a look.
Have you done it first to an investigator?
I can see that we have not yet gotten the investigator involved yet. We've been trying the number we have, and I can get the investigator involved to see if you can find it, and we can.
Okay, I'll give you 2 final weeks. If you don't have it, then it's over.
Yes, Judge, and
That's it.
we'll make sure that we get the investigator.
I'm gonna give you a 10-day trial setting if you don't have it.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, hey,
Hey, we got Mr. Rubin on the docket. We've got something worked out for dismissal. He just needs to take a class.
is this the gentleman from yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is it the gun class?
Gun class.
Okay, is he here?
He's here, contract signed.
Mr. Rubin, come up. It's 220. I'll give you a couple weeks, but if you don't have it done, you have a great deal that he's worked out for you, that if you take a gun class, they will dismiss your case. Your case is extremely old, so I will give you 2 weeks. But after that, I'm not giving you any more time. If you don't have it done, that tells me that you don't care. Do you understand? I mean, really, they'll dismiss this case. All you got to do is a 2 to 3 hour class. If you don't have it done, you're out of time. You understand? Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Like your costume. I mean, jacket.
What? Costume?
Yeah.
Hey, here. Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween. I like it. Looks good. I have Javier Galindo on docket. And you remember the last time you took him in custody and wanted me to check with his sister, and I just had a lengthy conversation with his sister. Everything's good. He can go live with her. She's a teacher, and then she's also getting her master's to become a principal now, and she's pretty
great.
Yeah. So he's in custody. I was going to see if we can get him on a PR bond.
I don't know, man. I don't.
I think last time you indicated that you would let him out. That's why you wanted me to contact his sister and see if he had a place to go.
She will take him?
Yes.
How do we get him to stop using?
She told me that he's not, she has keeps pretty good tabs on
She
him.
can hold him.
Well,
if he's, can you bring out Mr. Gallendo?
and he really has, he's like a different person now from that.
He's clean?
Yes. And so,
Don must have been.
yeah,
You know?
I don't think so. Yeah, that was probably no fun.
Bill.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me while we're waiting.
Mayor Gonzalez, his mom, dad, and sister are all here in person today.
I'm happy to talk to him.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, we were talking about the bond. I know the court will do a PR bond, but I was gonna ask for a reduction.
Are you mom and dad and everyone? Is that you? Okay, let me talk to this gentleman and then we'll talk to you. Good morning, Mr. Gallendo. How are you? You look great. You sound good. You're coherent. You're not jittery like you were when you came here last time.
Oh, I know.
So Hugh wants me to let you out. Looks like you've got a place to stay with, shh. Looks like you've got a place to stay with your sister. My only worry is that if we let you out, you're gonna go back to doing right what you're doing, using. And I don't want that to happen. I know you're gonna tell me no.
Oh, yes.
Right. You've told me that before, right? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. How do we get it to stop? Therein lies the rub. I don't want to keep you, but I know if I release you, you're going to go back to using and you're going to use grandma as the excuse.
That was just.
Perhaps it's another excuse. Perhaps it's saw Bambi and you're upset at the movie. Did we have MT Rast? What did it recommend? That's what needs to happen. I think that with what you're using, the frequency of what you're using, the best course of action is a treatment facility. Because we let you out, you're going to end up killing yourself. And believe it or not, I really like you. I want you to persevere and I want you to become the great person that you can be, Javier. I think that that's probably the wisest choice, to get him into a treatment facility. I know that you want to get him out.
Yes, I'm just
Done
wondering.
this before.
Yes, but yeah, it's all pre-trial, so I don't know. I mean, is that something he can do pre-trial, or, I mean, can he do outpatient, or?
I can't pay for anything. The only way I can pay for everything is if he's in there. If I let him out, he doesn't have a job, doesn't have anything. He's going to be unable to pay for anything. So therein lies the excuse. Well, I can't get it done. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no job. And then it spirals into the same thing. I don't know, Hugh. I don't. I think that the best course of action is to get you into a treatment facility, Mr. Gaid.
I'll stay with my sister. I don't drink over there. I don't do nothing. I'm staying with my sister. She's a teacher. She don't let me drink. She don't let me do nothing.
As if you're going to listen to her.
Yes, of course I listen to her. She's all I have. I listen to whatever she says. I babysit her son.
It seems.
Living before.
I wasn't with her. I wasn't staying with her.
Living.
Just being bad. And friends, wherever. We're friends.
Street?
Yeah. But I'm with my sister now.
She seems like she has a pretty tight grip on him.
She
From
does.
speaking with her.
You could get her number.
Discovery's outstanding.
Your Honor, it looks like everything's uploaded and shared with the defense.
And we can set the case for trial. There's a felony that's attached to this, but I'm okay with setting it for a trial date.
I am too.
Okay.
That way, if it goes, if it goes well for him, he's out. If it doesn't, I know what I'm going to do, which is what I think needs to happen regardless. Because if we let him loose on the street, he's just going to use. And we've done this game before. I've let him out before, and he goes right back to using.
He's only bond forfeited once in your court. And I know one time's too many, but I know that it's not like he's been a recurring issue. This is the only time that he's had an issue with with the drug testing.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know what? Hold on, because it's going to take a little bit of time. Let me see. What do you got?
So you got a client tomorrow, Alejandro.
Okay.
I think we are due for a trial setting, Judge.
Want to set up a trial?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, just pick a date with Ramona and back and whatever. Happy with whatever you want.
Yes, sir.
For sure, of course. Talk to me.
Judge, how are you? Happy
Hey,
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Judge, Ms. Lorenzo Castillo is on docket today. It is an assault, just a good old fashioned bar fight.
Okay.
Says he didn't do it. Says it was him that got assaulted.
Okay.
You're asking for a trial date.
Okay, not a problem.
Can we have one in January?
Okay.
Oh, you're the man. You're the best, Judge. Thank you. I set for this trial in December twice today, and I'm like, man.
Sorry. We have a bunch of trial settings in December as it is, so just don't stress. Life's too short.
So, Judge, the trial setting in January would be January 20. Oh no, the 28th. It'll be January 28th.
Are you gonna do a go-go dance?
Yeah.
Okay.
That startled me. The speaker started talking.
Have fun. Okay, Will.
Okay. Okay.
You speak English?
Yes, yes.
Come up. They can all come up.
Yeah, all y'all.
I'll come up. The more the merrier. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. I wish it were under better circumstances. And I'm sorry that you guys are having to come here and deal with this, but better now than 6 feet under in a pine box, right? We've had a lot of issues with him. And I think that, I don't know, I mean, I guess you realize and the spiel that I give to everybody is that you watch the news, which I hope you do, every day, someone dies in Harris County from a DWI. Every single day. We in Harris County lead the we
Hold
lead,
all conversations.
we lead the nation in DWI fatalities because it happens so much. Is it because we have 4 million people here? I don't know. Is it because Harris County is 3 hours from one side to the other? I don't know. But that's what it is. And it's disgusting. And what scares me with him is he has 3 open DWIs in 3 different counties. That is extremely scary. And we're lucky that no one has been injured. A life has not been taken, because it could have gone so much worse. The reason that it's taking as long as it is because he does not have, I'm presuming he doesn't have a lawyer in Nueces, right?
This time, that's correct, Your Honor.
If you guys are able to get a lawyer for him down there, hopefully that can speed up the process to get everything working. Because here in Harris County, we have so many cases, we have so many people in custody that we move it like crazy. We're very, very fast. We're a fast-moving criminal justice system here. Fort Bend is building their way up to being as big as we are. So they're a little bit slower, but in the other counties, in like Brazos and Nueces, Corsicana, and they do things a lot slower. So if you pick up a case, you may not go to court for 6 to 8 months, and then you start dealing with it. It looks like that's what's happening over there.
Did let the family know that even though they don't have a court date yet in Nueces, getting a lawyer down there, they can talk to the DA and they can start working on the case and talking to myself and the Fort Bend lawyer, trying to get a global deal done prior to any court date even being scheduled. Because I mean, the case is open and pending. I mean, it's there. So that's where we are for now. But I think the bond in Harris County is the only thing keeping him from going home to his family. And so we're trying to figure out a way to see if the court would allow him to post maybe a lower amount for bond.
It scares me to let him out. It scares me to let him out. He's repeatedly shown us that he refuses to comply with bond conditions. If I let him out, what's going to happen? Is he going to pick up a 4? Well, I know you're going to say no, but history tells us otherwise.
Stan, but I see where you're going with that. But my son is a 21-year-old kid. He's still a kid to me. And he messed up 3 times. Yes, he did. But he's ready to come out and do right with society and do the way he's supposed to. He's gonna come out, he's gonna live with me. He was out there living in Corpus because he turned into a welder. And I never agreed with him. I told him, I said, I don't like that for you. I'm a roofing contractor. He's gonna be living under my home and he's gonna be staying with me. And I will be giving him a ride to wherever I need to take him to get his stuff straight. That's what I have, and that's what I want from him, and I know that's what he wants too. He's not a bad kid like that. He's not like what we're writing him off to be. And I see your position, and because you're telling me about all these fatalities and stuff, but that's not my son. Twice he was caught. He was parked. 150 times I tell you at AA that you're probably gonna kill somebody. Of those 150 chances, he's got 2. He decided to stop and pull over and he didn't crash with anybody. Yes, he got caught 3 times, but he's ready to not ever drink again.
How many times has he not been caught?
He's young. He hadn't been drinking. He hadn't been drinking until 21, because he left and he was living on his own. He was living in my house. He didn't want to be here at my house anymore because he went out there to work. But he being a young kid, lost his girlfriend. We had a cousin of his committed suicide, so he had a lot of stuff going on in his head. But now this is real to him, and he's learned his lesson. He's ready to be out here and he needs to come out here and start working. He's gonna work for me. And he's gonna make money to pay for all this mess that he got himself into. Right now, we're paying the price. He's in there.
Why are you paying the price?
Well, we're paying the price for him because he's my son. And I'll give whatever I have to get him out of there.
Sorry, I really am.
He is not like I don't want to, he's not like all these other people, man. I'm sorry. My kid's not, he's not a drug addict. He doesn't abuse anything else. He messed up with the alcohol, being too young and not knowing what to do.
How do you know? How do you know?
I just know it. Know my son. He was living with me for a long time. That's how I know him.
And I understand and I respect it, looking through the eyes of a father. I get this a lot. But when you have 3 DWIs in 3 different counties, judges have told you repeatedly what you can and what you can't do. And you repeatedly flaunt that and just don't. And you have shown us repeatedly, you're going to do whatever you want to do, regardless of what a judge tells you. And I know that that's not what you want to hear. And I'm sorry, because I don't like to keep people in jail. But my only concern is public safety, And I know that you don't like to hear it, and it pains me to do it as a father myself as well. But I don't know how else to get him to realize that when you don't abide by court orders, this is what happens. And
Judge, you read people, you see people, you've seen my son. See him, and I'm telling you, he's not going to do this again. We want him out here so he can start working.
Mr. Wakefield?
When is he going in?
Today.
Right now?
I guess we'll send him to 49? Or,
One will determine right now or at 6?
no, right now.
He's prepared to go right now if you want to
Okay,
give him
no,
till
we'll do-
6.
No, we'll do it now.
Okay.
I don't want him to not turn in. Because then it'll go sideways real quick. Mr. Wakefield, you're charged with possession of marijuana. You're facing up to a year, up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine due to the amount. You've worked out an agreement. They're offering you 30 days in jail credit for the, well,
4 days?
4 days credit that you've already done. Understand that this charge will go on. Criminal cases. What we're doing today, the plead on the spot, be done. It's not going to work. Do you understand? If you come back, it's not going to go well. Good luck, Mr. Wakefield.
And Judge, if I could just get you to make a note on the docket sheet that he pled on the same day I was appointed.
I'll do
Okay,
it. Sure.
thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Come over here. Okay. So here's the paperwork for that. Then you can put it right on. Saturday.